This lesson is an asynchronous lesson. Students have access to the learning 24/7 and are able to complete learning on their own. The topic for this lesson is Natural Resources Impact on DC. The supporting question for this lesson is, what natural resources were common to DC? During this lesson, students will identify and describe natural resources, understand how natural resources are used, explain ways people can conserve and protect natural resources by reducing, reusing, and recycling, and lastly, using digital tools to broaden student perspective and enrich their learning. To introduce and engage students with this topic, students will complete a warm-up. In this warm-up, students will watch a YouTube video. After completing the YouTube video, students must answer the question, what is a natural resource? Students will answer this question on a Google form. After completing the Google form, students will complete an independent task titled Natural Resources in DC. This task is a student-paced Nearpod on natural resources that is engaging and interactive. This lesson has 3 parts. First, engage and explore. Second, explain and elaborate. And lastly, evaluate. To engage students, we will assess their prior knowledge and explore natural resources and how we use them. Students will complete a poll. Then students will be asked to name one natural resource they used this week, using the information found in the video that they watched during the warm-up. Next, students will view a lake and take a virtual reality trip. Afterwards, students will have to draw 3 natural resources that they saw during their virtual reality trip. Now it is time for students to explain what they have learned about natural resources, and the lesson will also elaborate on how they can conserve by reducing, reusing, and recycling. Here is an explanation with examples of natural resources. Students now have to circle natural resources that can be found in DC. This question asks students to draw a line matching the natural resources to the item that people make them from. Using the information the students learned in the previous slides, students will complete a fill in the blanks. Afterwards, students will learn what it means to conserve. Now, students will complete an open-ended question. What are 2 ways you can reduce the use of natural resources in Washington, D.C.? On the next slide, students will watch a video about conserving natural resources. As they watch, they are asked to pay close attention to ways they can protect the natural resources on Earth. Then they will complete an activity matching the ways that their actions can protect Earth.
Today, we will learn how to protect natural resources. Natural resources are very important for living things. Humans, animals.
The video will pause and ask students to answer questions. This is an interactive video. After completion of the video, students will have to be evaluated. The remaining part of the lesson will evaluate students' understanding on how to conserve and protect natural resources. Students will play a game, an interactive game. What a great way to engage students. Students will now have the opportunity to show us what they know. Here, they will pick 2 objects and draw how they would reuse them in a new way. Finally, students are given a moment to reflect. Students will answer the question, how confident do you feel in your ability to explain ways to conserve and protect natural resources? And for the final question, students will answer, could we survive in DC without natural resources? This task is an independent task, but it is also an informal assessment. Using this assignment, teachers will be able to check for understanding and identify any misconceptions.